Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, I want to talk about something that is so important and something I've struggled with myself on my own personal self-love journey and taking care of me, aka self-care, and that is letting go of perfection. I just felt like a weight off my shoulders just now, just letting it go. I feel ya. So get cozy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's dive into this. And before we do, though, I want to just talk about the last two episodes. So the first episode in this beautiful series, I touched base on these 8 different branches of self-care, different areas that fill up our cups or our bento boxes, whatever we want to label it. We have these needs in different areas of our life. And if you just focus on physical, then the other areas like spiritual, we can feel disconnected from life and from our spirit. So it's having this understanding that there's 8 different branches and 8 different needs that we have. And then in the second episode, I talked about how do you find time for self-care in your busy life? And I broke it down into different action steps. But the thing is, life happens. And I did mention that a little bit last episode too. Life happens. You can have a perfect plan. You can have it all scheduled in. You can tell the people in your life, your loved ones and everything, your plan. This is what I'm going to do. You have your self-love list. So when things, feel off, you're like, okay, I can do this. But what happens in the real world, our life, is that it doesn't always go according to plan. Maybe you'll get a cold. Your kid gets a cold and they're home from school. There's just so many things that can derail our plan. So it's having a plan. It's having some ideas of what you're going to do. And then it's being flexible within the plan. And also the big one, letting go of being perfect. Not about doing it perfect. You can just show up. Any time for yourself is better than no time. So for instance, I have a morning routine. And some days are better than others. Some days I'm like, get out of bed and I want to get on my yoga mat. I want to do my yoga practice and my meditation and tapping and my workout. And then there's others that is a struggle. Then there's the other day, the day that I just don't want to get out of bed at all. And I'm tired, my body hurts. That's when we have to let go of this perfect idea and do what we can where we're at. So sometimes we just need to meet ourselves where we're at. Because here's the truth. Self-care is about taking care of yourself. So if you're just pushing and shoving forward because you're like, Jody said, do this list, do this, do this, do this, but you're not actually feeling good. If you're feeling stressed out, overwhelmed by doing all this, that's not actually the point of this. It was to have a good solid foundation, but then allow life to flow. So it's having these ideas and then remembering to reconnect with yourself and ask yourself, what do I need today? What do I need this week? What do I need this month? As I'm recording this, I have 3 things that I'm planning. One's business related and 2 are personal. So one's working on this beautiful project that I'm doing that I really want to put some energy and time and love into, that I've been putting on the back burner because I just always find another thing to do instead. And then one is really just getting back into a good vibe with my body. And the other one's mindset. So I have these different little things that I'm doing, but that might be too much for some people. I've moved all my calendar around just so I can fit that time in. So I've worked really hard in October. I know this is coming out in December, but I've really rearranged my calendar so I can put some serious focus on me and the things I really want to spend energy on. Now, obviously, there's life. I have children, a husband, cats, the things, friends. I have things outside of these 3 things I want to do for myself, but it's a goal. Will it look perfect every day? Heck no. It might look like a hot mess, but it's about showing up. So I have intentions and it's showing up where I'm at. So like I said before, there's days that I don't want to work out. Maybe I have my period. Maybe it's heavy. And it's about honoring yourself in those moments. Be like, okay, today, maybe I don't need to do yoga. Maybe it's just sitting there and meditating and being mindful with myself. The other thing I've learned is that I don't have to do the intense yoga asanas. I can just sit and do some gentle yoga. So the thing is, we can plan and we can plan and we can plan, and then we can schedule. But what doesn't get scheduled in is life, curveballs, the things that just happen because we don't have control of everything. So it's letting go of this idea of being perfect, to showing up. Now, that doesn't mean you have to half-ass anything either. But it's about being true to who you are and taking steps to take care of you. And like I mentioned before, self-care literally means taking care of you. So if these lists are stressing you out, you got to start asking yourself, why? Why is it stressing me out? Are you trying to perfect it? Are you trying to show up perfectly? Because no one's perfect. We're not meant to be. We're human beings. We're meant to fall down, pick ourselves up, and learn and move forward. So remember, self-care doesn't have to be perfect or neat. And also, like I mentioned the other episode, or possibly both, because I'd like to remind you of this, self-care changes. Our needs change. So when you have young children, you might just want to focus on sleep, maybe feeding your body like as healthy as you can in those times, getting support. And maybe that's it. And then as they grow, it's different. Like my self-care is so different. So different than it was. But so are my needs. And so are my wants. So it's really just being clear on what you need in this moment and doing the best you can to take care of you. And that's mindset too. So if you're stressing out about self-care, then you're not taking care of yourself because you're stressing out about self-care. Like it's, this crazy cycle we have where it's like, okay, mindset. Why is self-care stressing me out? Why is taking care of myself hard? And it might be a belief you had growing up that women have to take care of everybody else. So maybe there's a little bit of love you need to send yourself and take some loving time for yourself to really just honor your beliefs and your thoughts, and then figuring out what beliefs and thoughts you want to let go of if they're no longer serving you. And then what beliefs you do want to believe in. The thing to really, really remember here is you are amazing, you matter, and you are enough right here, right now, regardless of what your self-care looks like. So if you've been beating yourself up about maybe you didn't go and download the free activity sheet, or maybe you did, you printed it out, but it's just sitting there. Don't beat yourself up. This is a loving reminder that maybe it's a good idea to fill it out, but if it's going to cause you stress, first ask yourself, why does that cause you stress? Is it just another thing on your to-do list? If that's the case, it's about really looking at those leaks again and being honest with yourself. But again, our bodies, like I said, 8 branches. There's 8 branches, and there's probably more. But I came up with 8 different areas that we, need to fill up in different, find a balance, right? So that means there's so many different areas of our life that could use a little extra love. And I mentioned emotional and mental, and there can be a lot that needs to go on there. So it's really just being gentle and loving with yourself and being aware, but at the same time, being mindful of when you're self-sabotaging yourself or when you're resisting something and you're using kindness for yourself as an excuse. So here's an example. I almost feel embarrassed sharing this now, but it happened and it's real. And I think I shared it before. So here I go again. So when my son was little, he didn't sleep through the night for 2 years. So for those first 2 years, my husband and I were living on survival mode. We literally were sleep deprived and a hot mess. But in fact, we didn't know we were a hot mess. We were just taking it one step at a time and living and we were just surviving. That's where we were. But the thing is, I wasn't getting enough sleep. So I was craving sugar to a crazy, crazy level. And I send my husband out for donuts. He loves me, so he went and got me donuts. And it was my thing. Donut, donut, donut. Like I just want donuts all the time. And I always kept telling myself, I love myself, so I can have donuts. I love myself. I can have donuts. Like I'm not going to sleep. I can have donuts. Well, fast forward that years later, I actually had candida overgrowth in my gut. Now, I can't go back in time. I could blame myself, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is share my experience with you. Using self-love and self-care as an excuse is not self-care and self-love. So obviously, I know better now that sugar was like the last thing I needed. And it's really just being honest with yourself. But sometimes, we slip up and we're not honest with ourselves. Or heck, man, I was so tired. I don't even know. So I can't go back. But what I can do is learn from that. And it's just to honor myself where I am and then really think about what I'm doing to my body and treating it well. And again, like it's mindset too. So I could beat myself up for how I treated my body. Instead, I'm like, okay, that happened. I'm going to own it. I'm going to share it so other people can learn from my mistakes. And then it's like, what can I do now to take care of my body? First, I thank it for being so awesome, even though I didn't treat it so well. And then it's taking steps to getting back into a loving vibe with my body. I'm sharing this because I know how easy it is to say, okay, Jody, you said don't be perfect, so I'm just not going to do the handout. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't make me feel good. What I'm asking you here is to be loving and gentle to yourself, and then ask yourself why you can't make the time, or why is it stressing you out. So I'm not saying do it. I'm saying ask more questions about resistance. So first off, I really want to share, let go of perfection. You don't need to show up perfectly. If you just take care of you in ways that feel good to you. And if you miss a day or you just do half of it, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up and hold yourself to yesterday. And what I mean by that is, say it's Monday. You have a plan. It doesn't go according to plan. Maybe something happens, your kid's home from school. Life happens. So you skip your morning routine or your workout, your yoga practice, your walk. Maybe you ate that donut or ate something sugary or something that you're like, oh my goodness, what did I do? That doesn't mean you can't do better the next day. Be like, okay, that happened. Give yourself that room for imperfection. Then the next day, going, okay, just because yesterday did not go according to plan doesn't mean I can't do differently today. And it's maybe looking at what went wrong. Maybe you didn't meal prep. Maybe you just grabbed the first thing that was there. Whatever it is, it's giving yourself room to grow and rediscover things. For example, I mentioned earlier that have fun with this. Figure out what self-care you need, what your wants are. So have fun with this. Maybe something's not going according to plan because you really don't want to do it. So ask yourself questions. Get curious about things. This doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. And like I said before, if you don't do one thing, that doesn't mean you don't have to do any of the things. It's like, okay, oops, I skipped that. Or oops, I didn't eat well. I'm reminded of a lot of diets I've been on. I'm not going to go too much into this because this is not the conversation. And I've talked about it numerous times before. I remember going on a diet and you have this idea. And then I eat something that wasn't a part of the plan. And it's like, well, whatever. And you throw in the towel. That's what I'm talking about here. Just because something doesn't go according to plan doesn't mean you can't still take care of yourself. And I really hope this makes sense. That's okay to just show up and take care of yourself at whatever level you're at right now. And to know that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need to look Hallmark-like. It doesn't have to just look all put together, so neat and tidy. Show up the best you can right now in this moment. And then just be mindful of when you're using self-care, or like I did in the donut world, self-love as an excuse. It's really about being really honest with yourself, but at the same time, very loving. So it's not about beating yourself up. I'm never about that. It's really important to know. But at the same time, sometimes we need a little tough love. So get curious. Ask yourself, why am I procrastinating? It could just be that you want to show up perfectly. You want to do everything just right. And then you don't do anything at all. So just lovingly be there with yourself and ask yourself these tough, really loving questions. Because we can really keep ourselves stuck when we want to show up perfectly. So today, I give you the permission to be imperfect. I give you the permission. Go out. Do the best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't look neat, tidy. As long as it makes you feel good. Self-care, again, let's get back to the one line definition I got for you. Self-care is taking care of you. Period. Exclamation point. Okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. I gave you a lot of tools and a long list of things and areas that you can focus on. And now it's your job, your responsibility to figure out what you need and what you want. And then let go of all the rest. Don't try and fit into a box. I don't love seeing things about bubble baths and spa days anymore for self-care. They're definitely needed. I really love getting my nails done. And I used to love getting massages, but they're not my thing anymore. And I have the most beautiful bathtub ever, and I just haven't even been using it that much because it's just not where I'm at right now. But what I need is some me time, some quiet time, so I can recharge and then show up the best I can as a mom, a wife, and here in this podcast, a motivational host and motivational speaker and things like that. So I'm here for you. But I'm also imperfect. I have days that my self-care falls a little flat. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm doing this series right now because I struggle with self-care in December and in the summer because I have a tendency to put my kids first. And it's not that I'm like, oh, take care of them, because they can take care of themselves. I just love spending time with them a lot. Now they're kind of getting on their own, doing their own thing a lot more. So I have a little less kid time. So I'm kind of glad I, put time with them on the top of my list for years. But now it's like finding a new balance. But yeah, so I love spending time with my kiddos. And I forget to take care of me. And then, I have my moments. And I'm like, right. I need to do things for me too. I matter. It's even more so when my husband has time off too, because then I don't have my me nights and I'm just doing my thing with him. And I actually have a lot less time for myself. So we have things in our life that are happening. Life is not black and white. There's so much color. We can color outside the lines. We can have fun. And it's figuring out what you need to take care of you. Every season might have a different thing you need. And in fact, over the busy holiday season, maybe what you need the most is just support. Have other people help you throughout the holidays. Big or small, you don't have to do it all the time. So it's time to let go of perfection and show up as you, the amazing person you are. I hope this has helped. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to really set your intentions for 2026, it's happening. And if you're listening to this after and it's in the new year, I might even have the recording available for you or have created it a different way. So check out my website regardless if this is something that it interests you at jodymisiak.com. I am holding a 2-hour live event. I haven't done this in a while, have not done an event in a long, long time. That is live. 2 hours to kind of make peace, letting go of anything that no longer serves us in 2025, and then setting a loving intention or intentions for 2026. It'll be this beautiful thing we do as a group. And like I said, if time has passed, I'm either going to record it and do it differently, or if I can record it without people being there, because I want to make sure I honor the privacy of the people that do show up and sign up for it live and things. But I'm working on some things. So if this is something that you're like, ooh, and then you're like, oh, it's past, definitely check out my website because there might be other resources that will work as well. And if you have time, it will be happening at the end of December 30th. And come join us. I'd love to connect with you even more. So if that's something that interests you and you're like, yeah, I want to let things go, I want to set intentions, I'm here for you. Thank you so much for taking time for you today. So maybe you've been beating yourself up about this whole self-care thing, but you showed up today. And if you listen to the other episodes, you showed up again and again and again for yourself. You're amazing. It doesn't have to be perfect. You might have been listening to this while doing the dishes or folding laundry or while you fall asleep, but you showed up. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to start taking steps to take care of you in whatever way feels right to you. I'm just sharing what I've learned along my own way and giving you a little bit of a roadmap to help guide you to like a more balanced self-care if you feel out of balance, like I did. So you showed up. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time for you. And if this podcast has helped you and you're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing, please share it with others. Don't keep it a secret. And follow this podcast so you know every time a new episode is ready. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.